Hello, I'm Armin Budish. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, we'll check out what's on the books at the Cleveland Public Library. Then, are you managing menopause? We'll share what's hot and what's not in treatment alternatives. FYI, we'll spell out what you need to know about RMDs. Plus, what if your pet needs care you can't afford? We have help for healing. And we'll explain why 2 trusts may not be better than 1.
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. Do you ever feel like a bystander in the 21st century information parade? You know, there's a whole world of fact and fun out there, and it could be passing you by. You'd love to hop on that database bandwagon if only you knew how. Well, you can, and there's no entry fee. The parade route begins at the Cleveland Public Library. Aaron Mason's here to lead us to the library's many amazing offerings. Aaron's the Assistant Director of Outreach and Programming Services for the Cleveland Public Library. Thanks for joining us, Aaron.
Thank you.
So, what is a database?
Databases are subscription resources that are available through our website, and they cover a broad range of topics.
Give us what kinds of things can we find in the database at the library?
Historical newspapers, downloadable music, and online classes.
Online classes, there's a name for your program there. It's
called Ed2Go.
Okay, what is that?
And this is available to all Cleveland Public Library card holders. And using Ed2Go, you can take actual classes that cover a wide range of topics, like how to play the guitar, how to learn a foreign language, or computer programming.
I've seen the Ed2Go. It's really fabulous. So all you have to do is get out of your chair, get to the library, and get on the databases?
You don't have to come to the library.
You don't?
So long as you have a library card, you can access it through our website 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Each course is roughly 6 weeks in length. They're moderated by actual college professors, and at the end of each class, you do get a certificate of completion.
That's great. So we're looking at a screenshot of what the database looks like, of what the Ed2Go program looks like.
Right.
Great. And easy to use. Now, when you have your library card, do you have to have a password, or how does that work?
You do have to have a password to use Ed2Go. It's a very simple process. You fill out a short application and you'll be given that password, and then you're free to take the class. But with all of our databases, if you have any difficulty logging in or using the database, pick up the phone, call 623-2800.
And we're going to give that number again for our viewers later.
And our librarians would be happy to walk you through the process.
Fabulous. Now, you don't have just the databases, the Ed2Go, the computer programs. You actually have a bunch of live stuff at the library. Tell us about that.
We do. We have an author series called Writers and Readers, and the authors visit the library and gives the audience a chance to interact with them. In the month of April, on April 19th, we have a musical performer, the RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan, who will be coming to speak. And on May 11th, in partnership with College Now Greater Cleveland, we'll be having Wes Moore, who is the author of The Other Wes Moore.
And he's on MSNBC?
He is.
And that's a picture of him?
Absolutely.
And are there fees for all these programs?
All of these programs are free. We never charge anything.
Well, let me make sure our viewers understand that. Free?
Absolutely free.
All right. And then you have some regular programming, music and things like that?
We
just
do.
Not these specials?
At our main library on Saturdays, April 4th through May 6th, we have classical music performances that'll be in the Fine Arts Department of our main library. And then throughout the summer, we'll have about 1 or 2 music programs a month that could range anything from classical music to jazz.
Wow. So much going on at the library. Thank you so much, Aaron, for filling us in.
Thanks
Appreciate
for having
that.
me.
So traveling in, you can travel into the past through newspapers. You can acquire a new skill right now in the present. You can enjoy future author visits and much more. It's all happening at the Cleveland Public Library. And I also have it on good authority that there are books there too. My thanks to Aaron Mason for freely sharing these free opportunities.
Find out more by calling the Cleveland Public Library at 216-623-2800 or visit their website, www.cpl.org. Next, hot news on hot flashes. But first, everyone is Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Yet, ironically, Patrick personally didn't spring from Irish soil. Can you unearth the true source of this saint's roots? We'll spill the beans on where he was born when we return.
They haven't been inducted to a Hall of Fame. They don't get stopped for autographs or photos. They don't have entourages or shoe deals. But they still deserve our applause and admiration because they are fighters, believers, heroes. We are the Metro Health System. We are the proud sponsor of the comeback.
St. Patrick's birthplace was actually Britain, but he became Bishop of Ireland, spending nearly 30 years in the Emerald Isle. His holiday marks the date of his death, March 17th in the year 461. And today we celebrate St. Pat with parades and parties.
You're hot, you're cold, you feel sunny one moment, cloudy the next. No, it's not just another day of weather in Northeast Ohio. These are some of the symptoms of menopause. Dr. Stephen Waite has tips to tackle this time of transition. Dr. Waite is an OBGYN and the director of gynecologic surgery at Metro Health. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Welcome.
So, the heat's on. Tell us what women can do to cool down those hot flashes.
Yes, there's several options that are available. There's herbal remedies that sometimes can be helpful. There's non-prescription medications. There's prescription medications that are not hormone therapy, and there's hormone therapy.
So when you said, non-prescription type things, soy, there's...
Yeah, the interesting thing, there's some misconceptions out there, so it's always important to look at the effectiveness of a product as well as its side effects. Soy was just recently shown not to be beneficial.
Okay.
With menopause symptoms, yes.
All right, so talking to your doctor can help you know what's good, what's not good, what to try, what not to try.
Right.
All right, other things that people can get.
Yeah, there's potentially some benefit from black cohosh, red clover. There's a few over-the-counter
ones. Those are
herbals, right. There's a few over-the-counter, for example, Remifemin, Promensal. But those are only about maybe 40 to 50% effective with hot flashes.
All right.
So really, if you need to have really good control, probably hormone therapy is the best.
Right. Now, with hormone therapy, I know some of our viewers are probably thinking, I thought that
Yes.
there was some breast cancer problems there.
There was a big study that came out about 12 years ago called the Women's Health Initiative, and what that study showed is that an increased risk of breast cancer. And so almost overnight, hormone therapy dropped off significantly. There were some problems with that study, though. The problems were that it was confusing to people. For example, with breast cancer, the background rate of breast cancer is about 30 per 10,000 women. If you go on hormone therapy, it goes up to 38 per 10,000 women.
Just from 30 to 38 per 10,000?
So less than 1/10% per year risk of breast cancer. So it's real, but it's small.
So would you say that there are still people who can be helped and should be helped by the hormone replacement therapy?
Absolutely. When you look at this, there's quality of life issues. If a woman is not sleeping, if she's having problems with hot flashes during the day, possibly some depression, this is a therapy that can really help her quality of life.
And I understand that there are other benefits potentially to the therapy.
Yes, there are. There is a decrease in colon cancer, which this similar study, or the same study that I talked about earlier, talked about. There's potential for Alzheimer's reduction, and there's also potential for fracture, osteoporotic fracture.
All of which are very, very important, obviously. And can women make lifestyle changes to reduce the symptoms of the menopause?
Yes, as a woman gets older, her muscle mass starts to decrease. So what I really try to incorporate in my practice is regular exercise, which will help not only with the cardiovascular, the heart, but also with her bones. Making sure that they have adequate calcium and vitamin D, especially here in Northeast Ohio. We have not, as you can see, not too much sun.
And there's an event where Metro Health is going to be talking about all this stuff and a lot more. Tell us about that.
It's going to be at the North Royalton County branch, and that's March 21st at 7 p.m., and that's free.
All right, and anybody can go?
Anybody can go. If you want more information, there's a number to call. It's 440-237-3800, or they can go online to www.cuyahoga-library.org.
And it's called What's Hot, What's Not. It's a great program, and we appreciate your giving us a little bit of a sample today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. You want a forecast that doesn't include hot flashes? Follow Dr. Waite's advice, and for more help, attend Metro's free health talk, or use the number that's coming up next. My thanks to Dr. Waite, and I couldn't hold myself back. Thanks to Dr. Waite for weighing in on this topic. We'll be back.
To schedule an appointment with Dr. Waite at Metro Health, call 216-778-3541. And to learn more, go online to www.metrohealth.org/OBGYN. Next, the realities of required minimum distributions. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Pensions for all state public employees are changing, including the Ohio Police and Fire Pension Fund. To find out more about this particular pension, attend a free seminar presented by the Lineweaver Financial Group. The event takes place Tuesday, March 19th at 6 p.m. at the Willoughby Brewing Company. To register, call 1-888-313-4009 or visit www.ohioretire.com.
Required minimum distributions mean exactly what they sound like. You are required to take a minimum amount of money in a distribution from your retirement account. So why, when it sounds so simple, does it often turn out to be so confusing when you go to do it? Jim Lineweaver's here with simple strategies to clear up all the confusion. Jim's a certified financial planner with the Lineweaver Financial Group. Thanks for joining me, Jim.
My pleasure.
So, simple fact, we need to learn about RMDs, required minimum distributions. What are the rules?
Well, they can be complicated, like you mentioned, and the IRS unfortunately doesn't make it too easy. But what these are basically distributions that you have to take from a qualifying retirement plan. This can be a traditional IRA, it can be a 401k, it can be a simple IRA. A lot of these things where you got a deduction going in, grew tax deferred, 70 and a half, you have to start paying Uncle Sam.
So all these retirement accounts, you have to take required distributions, every one of them.
Every one of them. Well, if not, then you're going to get hefty penalties. So you're going to want to take these distributions.
One exception. Roths? Do you have to take them from Roths?
Well, the owner does not. However, anybody that inherits a Roth other than a spouse does. And this is a common misconception, so you have to be careful about that.
Gotcha.
And if you inherit that Roth, you have to start distributions the following year, or it all has to be out within 5 years if you're not a spouse and you are the beneficiary.
All right, so normally, when do you have to take required minimum distributions?
Well, this is where it can get a little confusing. What happens is in the year you turn 70 and a half, you have to do a distribution by April 1st the following year. So I thought it would be kind of helpful to give your viewers an example.
That's
because
usually a good thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's say you turned 70 last year on September 30th, actually, 2012.
Okay.
And then on March 30th, that's when you hit age 70 and a half.
Okay.
So a lot of people think that's the year I have to take a distribution. Well, you don't. You have to do it by April 1st the following year. And if you do that, you have to be careful, because if in the 2014 you take the distribution by April 1st, you're going to have to do another one that year, which could potentially jump you up into another bracket.
So it might be better, even though normally we like to think of delaying the distributions so that your money's working for you more, but because of tax reasons, you might be better off taking that first distribution as soon as you hit 70 and a half.
Exactly. This is where tax planning really comes into play, because it'd be much better maybe than jumping into another bracket.
All right. What if we goof up? And a year comes along and we don't take our required minimum distribution, or we don't take it on time.
Well, if the IRS catches you, and it's just a computer program, so you're going to get flagged, it's a 50% penalty of whatever you were supposed to take out. So if you're supposed to take out $10,000 in a required minimum distribution, they're going to sock you with a $5,000 penalty. And
So
you're
it's
still
not
gonna
a
have to take
tax
it
on $5,000. They actually sock you for $5,000.
Yeah. And then you'll
Holy
still have to pay the
smokes.
tax.
Oh my God,
It's a big
that's horrible.
penalty.
So
Yeah.
you got to know. So how do we figure out what it is, how much we have to take out each year?
Well, your advisory should be able to tell you that, and if not, every custodian on your IRA or 401k will send you notification, and they will have the tables, and they can calculate that distribution for you.
So there are set tables that the IRS puts out?
Exactly.
And those are the ones you have to follow?
Yes.
And then when you can't follow it, talk to somebody like you.
Exactly, because you don't want that penalty.
All right. Thanks, Jim. Good information. Appreciate it very, very much.
My pleasure.
RMDs, required minimum distributions, they can be a ticking financial time bomb. Don't let RMDs turn into financial WMDs. That's weapons of mass destruction. For more information, give Jim a call. His number's up next.
Learn more by calling the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or log on to www.lineweaver.net. Next, assuring that man's best friend can get better. It's time to get up and go. An exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hello everybody, I'm Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today we're going to work our obliques while stretching our abdominals and our lower back. This is a great exercise. You ready to go, Armand?
Ready.
All right. We're going to start lying on our back. We want our feet and our knees touching, nice and touched together. Feet flat on the floor, legs slightly bent, okay? Place your hands to your side for a little extra support. And all we're going to do is simply drop from one side and bring them across your body to the other side. Try not to arch your back. You want to make your abdominals do the work. All the way down and all the way. Left to right is 1 repetition. How's that feel?
Have you ever seen anybody do it this good before?
Oh, that's amazing. You're doing great. 12 to 15 repetitions, 2 to 3 times a week, and now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, please send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 23240 Chagrin Boulevard, Suite 450, Beechwood, Ohio, 44122.
Do you have a beloved cat or dog? Then you already know pets are more than companions. They're part of the family. But as owners age, assuring their health care can present a quandary. Dr. Anna van Heckeren is here with help. Dr. Anna is a veterinarian in addition to being the president and CEO of One Health Organization, which features a program called VETS, as in veterinarians. It's Vets on Wheels. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
So we know that pets are good for people in many, many ways. What's the problem that we're here to talk about?
Well, of course, animals are a great help to people. They can improve blood pressure, they provide companionship, entertainment, and often help with mental health. The problem lies when we have people who have low incomes, who have trouble accessing services, and they're oftentimes will provide services for their animals before they take care of themselves. And that can provide a problem for both the animals and for the people if they're not taking their medications properly.
So tell us about Vets on Wheels and how that can be helpful.
So Vets on Wheels is a program of One Health Organization, which is committed to healthy animals, healthy people, and healthy environments. And we're talking about the home environment where animals and people live. And so they go out and provide veterinary care services for seniors in or near their homes.
And this is a nonprofit organization.
This is a nonprofit organization that provides, our focus is on low-income seniors.
And so give us, tell me specifically, I mean, you have a van that goes out to people's homes and do pet house calls?
Yeah,
Is
not
that what
exactly. We do go out to people's homes, but it's usually apartments that have higher levels of numbers of people that live together in a high-rise, for instance. And we go and we provide disease testing, vaccinations, parasite control. We'll do nail trimmings and make sure that we can provide counseling on nutrition and even cleanliness and behavioral issues.
Now, all this costs some money. How do you pay for it?
Well, that's a good question.
How do the people served? How does somebody pay for it?
Well, that's a good question. So if you were to go to your veterinarian and ask to get the standard services on an annual basis, it would cost about $200. Well, that's exorbitant for some of our clients. So what we do is we subsidize this care. They must provide proof of financial need. So we will ask them to provide, for instance, $40 that will be then subsidized through other purposes.
So the people you're serving come up with, say, $40.
Correct.
And you cover the rest of the costs.
Correct, if possible.
And how do you get the money? I mean, is this voluntary contributions? Is this government funds? What is?
So the government, we do not receive any government funding like a lot of animal-related nonprofits, but we do see contributions from generous individuals. We do see grants from animal-related nonprofits.
What's the reaction of the seniors that participate in your program?
Oh, they just love that we come out to them. It's such a relief. We can actually palpably feel their stress melt when we say that we can go to their homes, provide that as a convenience, and provide it at a low fare.
We're showing some happy people who you've obviously helped.
Oh, these are such wonderful people, and it's so heartwarming to be able to help them and keep that relationship healthy between them and their pets.
How many people have you served over the years, do you think? How many pets have you served?
Well, we've only been in existence for a couple of years with the program, and so we provided services for about 25 people, continuity care for those pets, and it's usually one pet and one person in the home.
Can people call you? Can we give a phone number and
Absolutely.
get help?
You can call us as long as you're within a residential facility that serves seniors 55 and older. We welcome your phone call, and we will help you one way or another.
Great. Thank you so much. Great information.
Thank you.
Do you need help from Vets on Wheels? Then give them a call. We're going to give you the number. It's coming up next. And if you don't need their help, but if you want to help yourself, help them. This nonprofit would welcome your financial support and your volunteer talent too. Again, use the same number. It's coming up. My thanks to Dr. Anna for joining us today.
For more information, call One Health at 216-920-3051 or click to www.onehealth.org. Next, how to simplify your estate plan.
The FDA has approved a new procedure to relieve lower back pain, and doctors worldwide are using decompression for bulging discs and pain from aging.
Surgery or drugs to cover up your pain are options, but our well-documented, non-invasive procedure treats the cause of your pain. Decompression increases spinal disc space and draws nutrients back into the disc. This helps restore normal disc height and function.
Soul and Spine, 440-248-5070, soulandbackpain.com.
Did you miss a phone number or website? Here's your second chance, because we're going to list all that information again, and then we'll be back to tell you the truth about having two trusts. Do you have two trusts, one for you and one for your spouse? For many years, that would have been the best approach for a lot of couples. With two trusts, you could cut or eliminate estate taxes and avoid probate. But today, the law has changed, and you might be much better off with just one trust for both of you. Here to explain is my trusted law partner, Mike Solomon. Thanks for joining us, Mike. Mike, why was it better to have two trusts for a couple?
Well, there are three reasons that some people use two trusts. Number one, it can save thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of Ohio and federal estate taxes. Okay. Number two, it helps avoid probate. Yeah. And number three, the trust will help manage your financial affairs. Let's say if the husband becomes incapacitated, his wife can handle his affairs with the money in the trust, or the children can step in if needed.
All right, all good reasons. But now something has changed. What is that?
Well, the major change was in the tax law. The federal estate tax exemption is now $10,250,000. So for many people, they don't need two trusts to save estate taxes, and the Ohio estate tax was eliminated. So, and you can use this entire exemption with one trust. That's another major change. So you don't need two trusts to shelter all of that money. So most people don't need two trusts for tax purposes anymore.
So when you say $10 million, that's now each spouse gets their own $5 million exemption from federal estate tax, and you can use both of them without two trusts.
Right. Each spouse gets right now in the year 2013, $5,250,000, double it, $10,000,005 from the federal estate tax. So most people don't have any of those issues, and the Ohio estate tax is gone permanently, and you only need one trust to get that entire exemption, where you used to have two.
So one trust can still be useful. You don't need it for federal estate tax or Ohio, but it can still help you with avoiding probate and managing in case you become disabled, something goes wrong.
That's right.
So if you already have two trusts, should a couple change to one?
Well, many people should consider that. First of all, you need to look at your documents and see if they're appropriate anyway. But now with the change in the tax law, you may be able to do everything you need with one trust, probate avoidance, the tax advantage, administering your affairs if you become incapacitated. So one trust can probably do the job for many people. And in addition to that, one trust may give you some income tax benefits over two trusts.
So you're talking about the capital gains problem, that if you have two trusts and there's stuff in the trust of the one that dies first, you could actually end up paying more capital gains tax, income tax, than if you just had one trust.
That's right. The one trust will let you get the step up in basis on both deaths. And
great information. Thanks, Mike. So two heads still may be better than one, but two trusts, one for each spouse, may no longer be the smartest approach now that the laws have changed. A single trust might work better. If you want more information, give Mike Solomon a call.
Call Budish, Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.budishandsolomon.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, having health insurance from a hometown company is helpful and healthful. We'll explain how everyone benefits. Ready for spring cleaning? We'll make a clean sweep of the messes in your mouth. We'll prescribe healthy news every woman can use, and we'll make ourselves at home while holding court. Until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.